Since I'm complying on a Social Security budget, I wanted to show you how we take one chicken and we eat that chicken just about for the whole week. We're going to show you different meals this week we used with one whole chicken. I toasted the bread for about 20 minutes at a 200-degree oven. And now I let them cool and they're crispy, and I'm just making the breadcrumbs. Each time I make the breadcrumbs, I make it a little different. This time I added some Italian seasonings, but sometimes I add barbecue salt. I add all kinds of different things that I have to just make it taste a little bit different. I also put a little cover on top of my crock pot. That makes it cook a lot faster, and it helps keep the heat in. And just like that, it's finished. I am adding one of these absorbers to put in it. That way it will keep any moisture out of the jar. Now I'm going to use this for casseroles and to use it for breading for all kinds of foods. I recently received some ration cards and I will treasure these. They're so unique and so neat to have a glimpse back into history. And I'm doing a lot of studying on the ration cards and how far they really went or how far they didn't go at all. If you were a farm family, the ration cards went a lot further. But if you lived in town, well, it's a different story. These came from near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I went to look in my old cookbooks to find out how much they let food feed their family, how little they used to feed their families, more like it, and how far they stretched their meals. Now, there is only my husband and I for these meals, so of course, one whole chicken lasted us a very long time. Lots of meals this week. And we are not finicky. We don't mind eating leftovers. We don't mind eating the same thing over and over again. But I went into my cookbook to try to find out some recipes that I could use for this week's videos. Well, on the first day, we ate the wings and we ate the legs. And then I'm preparing everything for the second day. It was so tender. And oh, my husband came over. He was going to eat one of the legs. And this was one of our meals. And then we left with making some broth and having the breast. And that's where the other meals come in handy. Now what I'm doing is I am straining it to make the broth, and that's going to go for soup. So we have meal number 2, chicken corn noodle soup. And I just recently did a video on that, so I won't share that part. But I want to show you what all the chicken looks like. And oops, I forgot to show you. Back around, Tessie. So this was all the chicken breast. And this is going to make quite a few meals. All right, so now we're going to go on another day. And we're going to go ahead and we're making a chicken and green bean casserole, which is so simple and easy. I just came up with it. It's sour cream, cream of chicken soup. It's got some green beans. You can use any vegetable you wish. And a little bit of cheese, and voila, it's a wonderful meal. And I made 2 of them to send one with a family. The casserole was amazing. We were able to eat 2 days off of one of those casseroles. Now I had some bananas that I wanted to put in the freezer and get that done. When I'm working in the kitchen and doing kitchen prep, I like to do everything at once. And that way, when I'm done, I can go on my day doing other chores. Let's take a moment now and sit by the fire before I finish cleaning up my kitchen, because my kitchen is a mess. I found this from 1942, and it's foil, and it's the perfect size for my toaster oven. So what we're going to do is I'm going to line my toaster oven with it. Now this is what I call a real 1942 kitchen, because the foil is even from 1942. It's in really good shape, and this is perfect what I need it for. And it's going to last me a long time. There were so many sheets in here. My propane stove works really good, but the oven no longer works. And I've had this little toaster oven now, oh my goodness, at least 8 years, maybe even longer. And I cannot believe all the meals I have made in this little toaster oven. And it works great. But it's a little bit worn out looking. So I tried to clean it as best as I possibly could. But I tell you one thing, this thing has really done its duty, and it has really produced a lot of amazing meals. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys on the next one. The end of this is just a book review from a friend of mine who writes books. Bye, everybody. Well, hi everybody, I am Homestead Tessie. Today I want to share with you one of my top picks for the year 2026, and this is a book review. This book is all about off-grid living for normal, everyday people. People like me. We took a 1963 double wide on 1 acre lot, we turned it into an off-grid living. We have the off-grid heating system, which is a wood-burning stove. We also have off-grid with solar panels, off-grid power units, and that helps us generate the energy that we need. Off-grid laundry, off-grid cooking using propane. This book is going to explain to you how you can eliminate some of those high electric bills by going off-grid. Now, you don't have to go totally off-grid. You can do it one step at a time. This book is written by Elliot Wheeler. Absolutely love it. It's easy to read, and it gives you all kinds of instructions, easy to do things that it can start you from step one to you can become a full off-grid person if that's what you choose to do. It's really interesting, all of the different chapters. So let's go ahead and let me share with you a few of the chapters. The middle ground no one talks about. The illusion of convenience. Dependence is the real anxiety. Chapter 4, what do normal people actually need? Winding the path, living without single point of failure. The economics of dependence. Absolutely amazing book, and I recommend it as my top books for the year 2026.